Hey everyone, welcome back to Internal Architect. In this episode, I wanted to dive into the next chapter in my book, the 4W's. Now, there are 4 questions that are really important to ask yourself. And as I was going through my journey, these 4 questions continued to come up over a certain period of time as I was really going through this growth of wanting change. These 4 questions really helped me understand the big picture of what it was that I needed to get into. And it's a way to dive deep and really get to the root of a lot of things that are going on in your world and help give you a little bit of closure and enlightenment into the next steps that you need to go through to get to where you want to go. The first one is, who am I? That is a really core question of who it is that you are. After going through the cancer experience, you really start to have an issue trying to understand, like, why am I here? What is going on? And this helps you answer that question. The second one is, what have I learned? And so you take everything that you have learned up to this point at this moment, whether it's with all the cancer that you have been through or all the life experiences leading up to where you're at. And it's everything that you've learned, and it starts to dive into the wisdom a little bit of what you may have thought was you. And so that's really the gist of the what have I learned question. The next question is, where do I want to go? And this is really a question to really help make you focus a little bit on the direction of where you want your life, you know? I mean, that's the thing, and that's where a lot of questions can come up, because after going through cancer, you really are just not sure what it is that you want to do, how you want to approach it. And this question really dives deep into that aspect of personal growth. And then the last one is, what is my why? This is probably the most important question of all of them, because what is my why helps you determine purpose and meaning in your life. And those 2 elements are super critical in what it is that you do next, in the decisions that you make moving forward. These 4 questions are really important to really ask yourself as a new survivor of what it is that you really want to do and how you want to be able to do it. So without further ado, enjoy. It took me a little while to work through the pride that I felt being a guy. But after allowing to forgive myself and everyone that I felt wronged me, I became open to wanting to change my belief and habits. I knew I needed to dive a little deeper into getting to know and understand myself. An old friend and mentor helped me go through a number of exercises and lessons to help me get my head back on track. Over time, I realized that there were really 4 questions that I returned to more frequently than anything else. I asked myself these 4 questions when I'm feeling down or unsure about the direction that I'm going. They have helped me continue to focus and remind myself that I am doing the right thing. I go over the original notes from time to time, mostly as a way to remember what I have been through and as a way to continue working on my goals. Sure, I have to adjust on the fly, but these questions are the basis of the foundation for the life I'm building the second time around. Who am I? We all have different reasons of why we want change in our lives. Could it be divorce? Did you lose your job? Or maybe a loved one passed away? As you can see, these are many reasons why we start to question who we are and our place in our society. As I discuss in my book, it's digging deep to the roots of our vulnerability, accepting our limits, and rebuilding our sense of mortality and self-value. As you start down this path, you start to dig through all the layers that have made you who you are today. You'll start uncovering parts of your psyche and inevitably turn on an understanding of who you are. So with our first part of the 4W's, I want to start with an exercise called Empty the Cup. My intention of this exercise is to condense everything that is in your head of what you have done in your life and make them visible. Grab a piece of paper or notepad. This is going to take some time to work through as you start the process. Give yourself 30 minutes and concentrate on those answers. I like to time myself because it helps me focus.
Draw a line down the middle of the page, splitting it in half. On one side, write down everything that you have done in your life. For me, it was things like professional snowboarder, equipment operator, real estate developer. On the other side, write down everything you can think that you are. My examples are a father, a husband, and a brother. Doesn't matter what you write down as long as you are truthful to who and what you are. I think it's important to make everything that you see on your list visible for two reasons. One, it's a great place to start building your own foundation for personal growth. And two, it's a great way to start working through your stagnation, concern, and even fears in your head. I can't begin to tell you how many notes I had written down just to get everything that's going on in my head in a place where I can see it and start to organize it. What have I learned? Everything we experience in our life leaves an impression on us, whether good or bad. How we move forward defines what we learn from the experience. Did a colleague get chosen over you for that promotion, raise, or even job? How did that make you feel? The actions taken after an experience, whether good or bad, dictate what you learn and how you grow. The more I learn as I get older, the more I realize the less I know. I know it's a strange way to look at it, but if you take a moment, it makes sense. When we were young, we didn't live in fear of getting hurt like we do when we get older. Exploration was the name of the game. Growing up in the mountains of Colorado gave my brother and I things to do like climb trees, swimming in rivers, and skateboarding without fear. It started a series of experiences in which we could skateboard and fail over and over again until you learned a trick. We would take the shinners, sprain ankles, and fall all the time until we experienced that pleasure of sticking that trick. It made all the pain and fear worth it. What it created was an experience. These experiences build up as we get older, slowly forming a catalog of other experiences that we subconsciously rely on and dictating the decisions we make as our physical limits creep in while we age. When you have a choice to make, are you excited or are you fearful of that choice? What does your experience tell you? What if that opportunity and experience go flying by because of inaction caused by fear or even procrastination? Part of my personal growth goal is to not live in fear or regret. That includes making decisions to do something that I may not like or feel comfortable with. What you gain from the experience is more valuable than anything you can put a price tag on. That, my friend, is what learning and life is all about. Facing fear, trying and feeling is better than not trying at all. Over time, they will call this wisdom. Where do I want to go? In the world of personal growth, direction is important mostly because you're not happy in the direction you're going. Whatever the reason is for change, starting down this path can enlighten and enrich your life in more ways than you will ever imagine. You will probably have read other personal growth books on goals and goal setting, and they're right about goals being an important aspect in helping you decide where you want to go. Just remember that goals are not the only part of your personal growth. They're one of many that you use altogether. That's why the Who Am I exercise is an important starting point. As the saying goes, you got to know your past to help guide your future. Starting over can be a daunting task, and after going through all the chemotherapy, surgeries, loss of hair, and what honestly feels like your dignity, it's only natural to question what's next. Finding purpose in life is and can be a difficult task to find. So for this next exercise, use the backside of your paper and write down as many ideals or ambitions that you would like to strive for in 1 minute. I like to think of things that are selfless because it takes the me out of the question and opens up a whole new world of relationships and networking. Things like starting a business, volunteering your time with a charity, or getting involved in community projects. Ambitions could be running a marathon or hiking the Pacific Crest Trail. These are just a couple ideas. The purpose of this is to think of things that you would like to accomplish. There is no right or wrong answer. 2 of my ambitions were to start a cancer awareness nonprofit and to write a book about my story. Both have taken a tremendous amount of time and work, but the secret to this is that I'm passionate about both of these things. Even though there is no financial incentive for me, I do it because I enjoy what I've learned from the experience and the people I meet and get to help along the way. What is my why? I believe this is the most important question of the 4W's. Why? Because you need to know why you make the decisions that you do. Why did you buy this course? Why did you feel the need to start a change in your life? This question can be asked 100 different ways, but you must be careful with how the why is asked. It's easy to take you down a dark path with the why question. Why me? Why did I get cancer? These are destructive questions and don't keep you positive and motivated. If you turn the question around and answer it with a statement, you can create a personal why that helps define your purpose. My personal why is I want a better life for my family, to become debt-free, and to do the things I love. I want to inform, teach, and inspire people about cancer through my story. Everyone has a story to tell, simply because of the experience each person has been through. Everyone's story is unique and relative. Whether you decide to share it with one person or the world, it's good to have your story straight for many reasons. Not only for keeping you honest, but as a conversation piece and social capital. Your homework for this lesson is to ask yourself these 4 questions. Write your answers down on a clean sheet of paper in your notebook. Feel free to share your story below.
I hoped you liked this video. I added all these questions together in one edit to make it a little easier for you to watch all at one time, because I think if you sit and you watch every single one separately, you might get a little bit bored, you might get distracted, and that's kind of defeats the purpose of what we want to accomplish here. So hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments, please hit me in the comment section below and hit like and share and do what you do. And I just want to say thank you for your time and energy. I really appreciate it, and I will see you on the next video.